I have a cold, but I still want to make a video on this topic because it's disruptive and I would say brand new, as it came out about 10 days ago on November 27th, if I'm not mistaken. This free extension called Diffusion is now available. In addition, I will also showcase a few small discoveries that I believe I have made. What is the purpose behind these discoveries that I have been working on? To operate the renderings that automatically generates inside SketchUp. I produced these in only a couple of seconds. Furthermore, it must be mentioned that they unveiled something similar to this, a tool similar to this, virtually without informing anyone. I stumbled upon it through an Instagram channel of an American girl I follow. As though it were insignificant, they released this thing. So what does it do? Basically, I give him prompts. It's about artificial intelligence, so prompts in the form of words in English at the moment. A couple of settings, a couple of very simple settings. You have to play a little, it's a bit of a Russian roulette then, the result that comes out. But now I'll show you that it's not completely a Russian roulette. That is, some things can actually be driven, and I've been working on it for an hour and not more for now. So I will definitely do further investigations later. And in the meantime, these are some of the things that came out, but actually I did many more. But when you close a file and open another one, this area here empties, this history of images empties, and when you start making others, they are practically listed here at the bottom in the lower area. So let's start a little from the beginning. Let's understand what to do with this tool, a little bit where we are, a small premise. I say it was time that there were artificial intelligences of this kind. Call it artificial intelligence, call it what you want. In short, what does it mean that they are tools now so intelligent by putting information on the internet, in software, in hardware? I mean, it is clear that they have learned a lot from us, but we must simply see them as tools and guide them to a sensible use, to what we want to do with these tools. So in my opinion, we are absolutely at the beginning, as that says below. SketchUp Diffusion is just at the beginning, and it is born from SketchUp Labs laboratories where they do these experimental things. So now there is no need to be scared. If it comes up with absolutely absurd stuff and certain things are not understood, but damn, we are facing renders made really at the speed of light, however interesting, however supportive, that shows you variations of color. You have to have a quick meeting with a client and you still want to give him an idea of what is coming out. You do it in one click, but truly just one click, and it is free. I mean, envision the possibilities if we input accurate information and take necessary precautions, which I will demonstrate shortly. However, let's start from the beginning. So, where do we go to find this extension first? Just visit the extension warehouse, search for Diffusion. I'll show you on the browser, but you can also do it from within SketchUp. And here it gives me the download button if I'm inside SketchUp. Instead, I can install it, maybe directly, I don't know for sure. I opted to download them as it allows me to save the extensions and easily load them into SketchUp whenever I need them, even if I have to reinstall the software of SketchUp. Then there is an online guide that already provides some information, but it's not like there is any information you want to give the information. That is, it does everything on its own. And then once installed, we have this little button here. Let's see it because it's tiny. It's a kind of little face with some... It appears to be a type of circuit, therefore something highly digital. Additionally, this area serves as our designated workspace. Now, I place myself in a very simple scene like this one of this project here. Very scruffy in addition, very old, I don't know how many, it will be 15 years old. This project truly opens a random thing. And it can be an interior, it can be an exterior, a single object, absolutely whatever we want. Basically how it works, in a nutshell, but as I mentioned previously, maybe I'll create in-depth videos. We have the option to select prompt presets. What exactly are prompts? Prompts refer to the information I provide in the form of words to guide the type of creation I wish to make. Therefore, in this particular case, the words I could use as prompts include interior, realistic, photorealistic, warm environment, living room, and similar terms. What am I doing here? I'm going to take one of the external, internal, hand sketch, watercolor presets. That is, so there are also things that are not real rendering. I take the photorealistic interior, and it automatically puts these prompts that you can see have already been tested and work quite well. entrusted to these mostly for now, these presets, then the settings instead, what are they compared to the geometries of the model? If I set it to 0, for example, it doesn't care at all about what you see and it can do whatever it wants. It made me a garden even if it's square like this. If you set it to 0 with respect to the geometry, it does something that has absolutely nothing to do with it. So obviously I would put this at maximum. The influence of the prompt means how much these words influence the final work. But even here I would be inclined to put it at maximum. Then I tried to reduce it, but I still haven't fully understood how much it actually makes sense to reduce this influence. If I include prompts, I want them to strongly influence the final creation because I need control over the outcome. I only have it through these words. But for now, let's leave it like this. More or less halfway. For now, I'll leave it there. So before clicking generate, I recommend taking a moment to make a couple of evaluations. We have this button here, refresh input view, which is the key in my opinion. That is, this button has a first name and a last name. It is called input view. That is, it does not matter what you are seeing on the screen. It matters what he is seeing in here, which is one of the last shots you have passed by. If I now go to this scene here and tell him to refresh, I am in a black and white scene, so it took me a few minutes to understand that this actually makes a bit of a difference. Now I will show it to you. After that, what do? Click generate, see in real time how long it takes to make me proposals, projects. Actually no, where should I go? Sorry, excuse me. I put myself in this scene here, which is one of the last ones I worked on, and I put the sun turned like this. Now I'll explain why I'm turning the sun, what difference does it make to activate it or not. Refresh input view. So, take into account this framing that I am having now, and I click generate now. The messages that come out here are hilarious with energy. The robots are at work. That is beautiful. Imagine they're server on server that are working to generate my realistic interior rendering download of the images in progress. Now let's see what these renderings become inside SketchUp. How do I download them? And he finished. I go down here and it generates 3 at a time. So this and this, he just made them. What can I do? So I can view them larger by clicking. Wait, I will move to the right edge here. By selecting Add Scene, this function creates a new scene in which there is a render displayed as a paired photo. Love photos. True that if I click right button, I hide ceiling, edit matched photo, really get inside, tells me it was not created with UT, amazing experience. A regular interface of matched photos. In reality, I do not care at all that it is a matched photo. Honestly, what matters to me is that attention. When I created this scene, he created a new style. What should I do to save the situation a bit? Because otherwise we find ourselves in a temporary situation where everything is at risk of losing the rendering. I tell him, update this style, and I do not know why he creates a new one. Anyway, it is better to save it when there's the symbol like this. Update the style and save all these scene characteristics, but kidding aside the problem, the fact, no problem. In short, the stupidity of scenes with matched photos is that they do not have all the save settings of the scene properties activated. We activate them manually, without fail. So now yes, this scene is saving what I see, and if I click on the previous scene I can see that other stuff I did 15 minutes ago, and if I click here I actually go back to see all this render. I clarify this step thoroughly as it is crucial. Additionally, there is the Save button to save the image as a PNG on the desktop. It becomes any render. Be careful I save it. It is in low quality, unfortunately, at the moment. Let's go see it. Where's it? Desktop, double click. What's up here? No one knows. However, now I will explain for a moment what to take into account, which is a bit, I allow myself to say discovered, but in the sense that I didn't know them. They are not written in the guide, but I saw that they work. Let me explain further then. If I want to see the various scenes with the various renders inside, I do this. I choose the render. I click Add Scene. It adds a scene with the date, the time to the exact second. I update the style and activate all, if blessed, the characteristics of the scene in question. I'll do it for the third render too, then we'll look at them side by side. Third render, add scene, update style, save all scene features. Why did I do all this step? Why in this way? So I'll move this out of the way for a moment. At the window, I have scenes 1, 2, 3, one next to the other. 1, 2, and 3, so I can inspect them closely, and I bet I can maybe even export them at a higher quality. No, actually, I think that even by exporting them with high export quality, the associated photo behind it is of low quality. So even though it says here among the various inputs 8K ultra high definition raw photo, 8K ultra high definition, it is important to note that the actual resolution and quality may not be as advertised. Well, actually, right now, the quality, or rather not the quality, Marco, what are you saying? The resolution, or rather the size in pixels, because the resolution is another thing altogether. The size in pixels of the image paired behind is not high. It is not big like an image. It is like 1000 by 800 pixels. So, well, there's nothing you can do about that at the moment. In short, I'll close here and conclude by saying what I think are a couple of things to keep in mind. So one, that the input does not do the same if it is this framing here in black and white or if it is this one in color, something that one could also mention and discuss and analyze and evaluate and consider and deliberate and take into account. IMO pondering why he's clueless initially about what he's considering, what he perceives, what he doesn't. He perceives the lights and shadows, but he perceives them as is, more or less. He perceives them like a landscape, in summary, set up like on a SketchUp, or if he imagines them, then I observe that one considers the colors if I render the scene like this in black and white. Those who have come out, let's examine them. There's not one that considers the colors, for instance, of this punka box here. Cash punka, I said. I mean, I have a cold. I've been feeling sick and exhausted for 2 days. If we go and see the color scene, let's take a look at this living room cabinet for a moment. Indeed, the two top drawers are brown and dark. When I rendered this scene here where the colors are visible, well, out of 3 renders, one got it right. He darkened the top drawers. I mean, when the scene was in black and white, he didn't darken the drawers in any of the 3 renders. So it is sensitive to how I perceive the model. If I perceive it with textures, what color the textures are, evidently. Maybe I'll even tell him in the prompts. Be loyal to the colors. Now we must attempt to translate it into English and try the correct text or locate it. Another factor is the shadows, as they are greatly influenced by the direction and presence of shadows. In this particular scene, I have not only applied vibrant colors but also activated the lights and shadows. As a result, the rendering depicts the light source coming from the left. Otherwise, what had he done? Let's see them. 1, 2, he also added nice spotlights underneath. This is a good rendering with some incomprehensible things, but overall it's nice too. Oh, there's a poof back there, like what's there? Damn, I don't remember anymore, it's very old. Oh, there's a poof, maybe I'll delete it, you know. When I have to do the rendering, I throw it away because it's clear that I'm sending it off track and I redo the rendering. Good night, right? I do not know precisely what I mean, but when the lights were turned off, I am referring to this scene here where the sun was turned off in SketchUp, but the colors were visible. The colors were more or less accurate, but the lights originate from wherever he desires. He transforms it into a door or a window. This as well. Here he positions spotlights above and below. So essentially he had no information of any sort about the direction from which the light had to come, and he fabricated it. Rightly so. So, I mean, obviously the more precise we are, let's say we place the colors accurately in the scene, we activate the SketchUp light in a position that seems interesting to us, well, what comes out, we can control it to some extent. It will not be checked 100%, obviously, as I do with a tool like V-Ray, but that is not the point. Damn it, the times are totally different here. It is free, by the way. The resolution, or rather the dimensions, are fine. The resolution, let us call the resolution of the image in the end, is what it is. So we are talking about high resolution rendering, high quality. These artificial digits will not steal our work, in my opinion. But I will stop here. I would like to immerse myself a bit on this topic. Maybe in the next few weeks I will try other experiments. Meanwhile, if you have an opinion, experiences, you have discovered other inputs to feed this artificial intelligence, let us make it do what we want, not what they want. In any case, any comment is welcome. See you next time. Take care and have a great day. Stay safe and stay positive. Enjoy your weekend and make the most of every moment. Thank you for your attention and support. I appreciate it.